Huh. I wonder if anyone would be upset if I did a trailer review instead of working on the video that I've been promising for a while. Let's Akbar this up. Seems kind of pointless calling it Lucasfilm at this point. Okay, so it starts off with her running through the forest, and we see her drop a blast helmet. If I can get, yes, this is the same sort of. It looks like the same sort of blast helmet that or not blast helmet, the same sort of visor that Luke was using in the very first Star Wars when he was training. And then we see her running through the forest, and she jumps over a canyon, and then the screen cuts to her in some sort of abandoned ship somewhere. So I wonder if what they're doing right now is trying to show that no, you thought the whole time that Rey had no training whatsoever, but it turned out that she actually had lots of training, and here we are seeing her remembering that training as she makes this leap, which it will be exactly that. It will be quite a leap for them to expect us that Rey did all this jungle training on her way to see Luke. When there just wasn't any time for that. And then we got this talk over. Here's Finn. There she is, continuing to run through the forest. Is that? I think that's Lando in the center there. Mr. Calrissian in the yellow shirt. Wait. Where on earth did all these people come from? Are they trying to tell us that we've gone from 20 people or maybe 40 people on the Millennium Falcon to suddenly a huge amount of people here? I mean, did Lando bring them all with them? And are they trying to say that the call was answered at the end of the last movie? They just didn't get there in time? But that wouldn't make any sense because no one responded. Like, that was the whole point. The call was received, but no one responded, and now they're acting like everyone's responding. And oh gosh, I was hoping we could get through this without Rose coming back into the movie. I mean, her character was just so bad in The Last Jedi, which. I know I've been promising this for a while, but I actually do have some videos coming up on The Last Jedi, and we will be talking about Rose's character and that there were some external factors about this, but just the fact she's here again, I'm very disappointed to see this. Miss Poe. Does anyone really tell Rey that they know her? I mean, thinking through the movies, I'm not sure if anyone has told Rey that they know her. Everyone's just kind of, I don't know, fond over her.
No one does.
Yeah, no one does. That's kind of the problem. Ha! Okay, first of all, so there is some great music going on in this, and I like the scene that just happened right there. And I talked over it, but Adam Driver there was saying that he knows Rey, which I guess, since officially, according to canon and the extended material, when they were doing their Skype call long distance there, their brains were downloading into each other. So I guess he does know her, technically speaking. But this was a great shot. I mean, look at this shot. For all my complaints about the new Star Wars movies, they are great at doing visuals. That's a nice shot. Okay, we got some sort of Spaceberg. Is it reflection? No, okay. Over on the left there, it's not a perfect reflection. So I was thinking maybe this was supposed to be like on a lake somewhere, and we were seeing the reflection of the upper part down in the bottom, but no, there's a difference there. So this is it's a asteroid made of ice out in space. Oh, Palpatine.
And now you're coming together.
Okay, Look, JJ has his work cut out for him. There's no two ways about this. Somehow he's supposed to take us from the fact that there was no one at the end of the episode 8 to now we have a giant space armada at the beginning of episode 9. And this wasn't just a resistance problem. I mean, the First Order, it should have nothing left too. Like, I know at the end of episode 8, we saw them with several fighters, or Star Destroyers rather. And then, of course, Palpatine's ship had been... Palpatine, wow. Snoke's ship had been cut in mostly half, and several of the Star Destroyers behind it were damaged. But it seemed like they still had some resources left. And then, but beyond that, at the end of episode 7, it seemed like they had been tapped out on their resources. So I'm not sure where they're expecting us to believe that both sides suddenly have a tremendous fleet that they can be slamming into each other. I mean, especially Rebellion. They had 40 people tops and one ship, and now the entire universe seems to have banded together. I'm not sure how JJ is supposed to work this out, and I'm wondering if they're just going to be ignoring episode 8 the way episode 8 ignored episode 7, or if we're going to spend most of the movie having to do retcons and then get some quick set pieces at the end. Which, to be fair, that's kind of how JJ does things in general. I mean, thinking back even to Lost, which I couldn't get through the first episode of Lost, but my wife loved it, and so I saw it from time to time. But he never had an idea of how to take it from the beginning to the end. It was just things happened, and nothing was really connected, and then all of a sudden, boom, information dump, and it's over. So I kind of wonder if the first half of this movie, or most of the movie even, is going to be kind of fixing all the mistakes coming from 8 and setting up for a place where he can be in 9, because 8 really didn't leave him with a good spot. So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, everyone's coming together. I'm not sure why they're fighting. Okay, so their coming together is going to be their undoing. Gosh, he's trying to make it sound like something deep, but that makes no sense whatsoever. Wow, if only we had remained apart, we would have survived. No, we're stronger together. But this scene back here a second ago where Rey and Kylo are fighting, I'm not sure what the point of this is even supposed to be. We've seen them fight twice now. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, in the original trilogy, we saw Luke and Darth fight a couple times, but the first time they fought was just a force vision, so it wasn't even real. The second time they fought, when the first time they actually fought, Darth was just kind of messing around with Luke and testing him out, and then they only fought for real one time in the very last movie. But in this new trilogy, Kylo and Rey, they fought the whole... Like, in each movie, they've had a legitimate battle together. In the first movie, it was a true... I mean, yeah, sure, he was injured, and I'll grant him, that was a blaster bolt that would have killed most people. He was walking around and fighting with. But it was still a real fight between the two of them. And then in the second movie, they had their whole force standoff, showing that maybe she wasn't his equal in the very first of the new trilogy, but she definitely was his equal in the second one. And so I'm not sure where do they think the tension is going to go here. There's no tension with them fighting anymore. And there's the last little bit of the... I'm assuming that's the Death Star that we've seen so many times. The remainders of it in the trailers. And then I'm pretty sure this robot right there, that little robot with the green cone, I'm pretty sure that's a mute for either a trumpet or a trombone slapped on top of a wheel. I mean, they're just they're kind of getting lazy with their designs here.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
What? Okay, who's standing here? We have, in this incredibly touching moment, we have Poe, BB-8, some random person in a red shirt and visor. We have a literal red shirt there. We have Rey and Finn. C-3PO has had zero interaction with Rey. I mean, at the very end of the last episode, The Last Jedi, we see him come up and introduce himself to Rey, I believe, at the very last little second of the movie. And so, assuming, and this is kind of a big assumption on my part, but let's assume that everything we see in this trailer so far actually takes place in this movie and isn't some flashback. So, the training that happens in the very first part of it, maybe that's Rey actually training in this movie. So we're supposed to believe that he has zero interaction with her up through The Last Jedi, and then she immediately goes off to train, and then she comes back at some point, and we have this touching moment where he's so sad she's, gonna see my friends for the last time. He doesn't care about Rey. He doesn't care about Poe. Poe was gone for the past 2 movies. He's had more interaction with BB-8, and even that was limited to, here's R2-D2. He's been asleep the whole time. And maybe he has some sort of connection to Poe, but we've never seen that on screen. So, I mean, we're supposed to be having this touching moment, but we missed the moment. The touching moment would have happened if we had had Han and Luke and Leia on screen together, and Chewbacca, and hey, throw in Lando, and you have a touching moment for him actually be saying goodbye to his friends for whatever's happening right now. Maybe this is the end of C-3PO, and he's so sad. But I mean, he doesn't care about these people here. Where's even R2 in this scene? There's no one in this picture that he has any sort of connection to. They're trying to get us to feel all the emotions, but there's no substance there.
At my friends.
Okay. Action set piece.
Confronting fear.
All right, this... I know they're having to deal with the death of Carrie Fisher with the best of their abilities. But this is just a direct take from the end of The Force Awakens, when she walks past Chewbacca, her kind of lifelong friend at this point. I mean, once you've known someone for more of your life than you haven't known them, I think they get to count as lifelong, even if they weren't part of your childhood. So she walks past her lifelong friend, the best friend of her husband, Chewbacca, and hugs Rey here at the end of The Force Awakens. And now they're recycling that footage to put it in here. And I was talking over. What was just said in this?
Confronting fear is the destiny of
Confronting fear is the destiny of
the Jedi.
the Jedi. I don't think they know what the Jedi were supposed to be. Let me think more about that. That's one of those sentences that sound good, but when you actually stop to think about what do we know about the Jedi through canon, I don't think confronting fear was ever part of what we've been told the Jedi stand for.
Your destiny.
I guess they felt like the space horses were so important from The Last Jedi that they brought him back. This looks to be at least some sort of different space horse, at least not the same one. But here we go. They're doubling down on the fact that we wanted more space horses. What is this? Okay, we see Rey and Kylo fighting again, and what are they supposed to be fighting there? That doesn't look like the Emperor. It doesn't look like Darth Vader or any sort of Sith we've seen so far, like some sort of a Force vision that they'd be confronting together. But it's supposed to be a big deal. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be a big deal. And we see Kylo sporting his mask again. And then what happens here? It blows up. And then it looks like maybe Kylo's going for his mask to take it back off, or maybe he's going to force push something else. And, this is kind of one of the things that I feel like they missed out on. I know it would have just been recycling more of the original trilogy again, but Kylo really should have left his mask on up through episode 9 here. It certainly made sense for him to take it off in episode 7 when he sees his dad. That would have been a great spot for him to take it off the first time. But beyond that, he should have kept the mask on the rest of the time, and it would have been a great symbol of his conflicted nature. And he takes it off because he's feeling conflicted about killing his dad, but then he gets over that confliction, and he should have put it back on, but instead they're doing this weird thing where it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, and they lost such a great moment for symbolism, and it makes me sad when I see good moments missed in cinema. And again, we're seeing more Star Destroyers. Not sure where they expect us to believe that all these Star Destroyers came from. And I'm assuming this is going to be Palpatine, that somehow he was able to amass all these Star Destroyers again. But that doesn't really make sense either. JJ has his work cut out for him. I'm pretty sure what we got here is the Emperor. There you can see kind of his hood outlined there, and it looks like it was moving, so maybe he's on some sort of walking throne.
The Force will be with you. Always.
Well, that was nice. I'm sad that they missed the opportunity to have the 3 big people on screen again. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia. Having them together on screen would have been a really great moment. But I appreciate that in the trailer they're kind of giving a nod to Carrie Fisher, letting her have the last little line there. The Force will be with you, and then having her say always. That was sweet. And this is gorgeous music. They did a great job. One of the weird things I was noticing in The Last Jedi is how the music didn't have the Star Wars feel to it. And they're doing a great job with this trailer, giving that Star Wars music feel. But beyond that, what did we actually learn in any of these trailers that they've released so far? We got the switchblade, or the pocket knife lightsaber of Rey's, which I'm pretty sure that's just going to be a Force vision, so it's probably not really going to be in the movie. And then we've gotten these imageries of some sort of space battle with huge fleets that shouldn't exist, and nothing. I mean, in terms of plot, I could tell you nothing about what this movie is going to be. I certainly have my complaints about, let's say, the new Terminator movie coming out. It looks like a political movie. It looks incredibly political. But at least I can tell you that the plot of that movie is that John Connor's gone, and there's some new little girl who's going to be the savior of mankind, and that they gotta protect her while a Terminator comes to try to kill her. That's the plot. They told me that in the trailer. So I can decide whether or not I like it on the trailer. Here in this one, we got nothing. There's nothing in this trailer. It's just a series of scenes, a couple set pieces, and then nothing actually being told. And this is the last one, they say, the official final trailer. And I mean, even the second trailer they released, they're really trying to pull on our heartstrings and our nostalgia with everything's been leading to this point. But they haven't told us anything. And I'm not sure if that they're too scared of their own plot to tell us. I'm not sure if they have no plot. Or I think this might be, it's kind of Abrams' downfall. He doesn't have the ability to tie up a series. Like I said with Lost, and that pool, and the polar bear, and everything. And you're kind of left with, what is it? What was the point of the entire series? And you don't really know. And in the same way, I feel like JJ's, it looks like he's doing his best. He's trying hard here. It's just, I don't think this is the skill in his wheelhouse. He is great at setting up an idea, but he's not great at bringing those storylines to a close. So we'll see. That was a trailer. Good luck to all of us come December 20th. Until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up your countenance and give you peace. Amen.